Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Welcome back, everyone. It's been a really busy week for me. I don't know if the same for everybody else. I'm just glad to be back recording.
Same. You know, it's been a minute since me and Savannah recorded. You guys never noticed anything because we're magical over here.
Yeah, because we're pros.
Yeah, obviously. But yeah, it's been a hot minute, so I'm excited to get back into it. There's a lot of things we have to catch up on.
There really are, yeah.
Savannah, such as I went and saw a podcast show live for the first time. And that, because I was like, I don't know what the vibe is. Also, like, one day we could have a podcast show. So,
we're gonna have a show.
Guys, it would be so fun. You have no idea. And then after seeing their podcast show, I saw Two Hot Takes live. Love Two Hot Takes. Fave podcast. Other than ours, of course. But, and basically it's like a podcast where they read Reddit stories and like really crazy Reddit stories. So, and then give their takes on them and such things. So that's what they were doing. And they were calling people like from the crowd to tell stories. And I just like couldn't bring myself. I had a good story, but I just couldn't bring myself to tell that many people like such a personal story about my life. So I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I easily could have. But it was such a fun experience. I've never been to the Comedy Zone before. It was in Charlotte, and there was two shows because the first one originally sold out. So we had got the later show tickets, and we were like some of the first people to get there because we wanted to be in the front. And since it was a late show, we had plenty of time. So we were just like waiting outside, and the security lady was like, "I'll just go ahead and scan y'all like through, so that when they're done in there with the first show, y'all can just go on in."
Yeah.
So this woman was the funniest woman on the earth. I'm not kidding. I was like, have they hired you to be the opening act, ma'am?
Oh my gosh.
I was laughing so hard. Also, I called the venue before the show because I couldn't find their bag policy online, which if you're not in the United States, everywhere has a bag policy where basically you have to like have a clear bags to make sure you don't have a gun.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's like a lot of like concert venues have that.
Yeah. And so I figured, like maybe there's a bag policy, and I wanted to see, and it said nothing about anything about a bag policy. So I called them, and he was like, there's going to be a security guard at the door. And I was like, okay, I got that, but
I'm guessing that means no bag policy, right?
I was like, so what about a purse? And he was like, I mean, it's going to be checked. And I was like, okay, but does it have to be clear? Sir, I asked it like 14 times. Right. And he was like, I definitely don't think it matters what color the purse is. And I was like, okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I'm sorry.
He just had no idea what you were talking about.
Like, he's never heard of a clear bag policy in his life. I was laughing so hard at that. But anyway, so the security lady, she checks my purse. And I went to the show with my friends Taylor and Dina. And she checks me first. I'm good. And I had an actual purse, okay? Taylor has a key, like her key fob thing, and she has like a little tiny baby coin wallet on it.
Okay.
And this girl opens up this wallet for this lady to check this coin purse.
My God.
And when I tell you, this lady was already funny. She was cracking jokes with every person. She said, "Now I know you ain't seriously opening that for me to check. See if you have any weapons in there, ma'am." Oh my God, when I tell you we were rolling on the floor, and she was like, "You know what, ma'am, you just got me so discombobulated." And she saw me like put my purse down. She was like, "Wait, did I check your purse?" Oh my gosh, it was just the funniest thing ever. So
you had a pre-show
show. Quite literally. Yeah, and then the show was just insane. They read crazy stories, and we kind of all gave our takes. It was fun. It was so fun. Very vibey. And I did, in fact, hide some of our stickers at that venue. So if you're listening from some of those stickers, welcome.
Yes, welcome.
So yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun. It was very fun. And it made me want to have our own show. Real bad.
Someday we will.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of into existence.
Yeah. Well, I haven't really been doing anything that crazy recently. I've actually been working a lot.
Well, I mean, that's good,
Which,
you know,
I mean, it's good,
for the
but
money.
also I didn't, yeah, I know. I got a lot of overtime. But, I just want to take like a week off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I sure do. I want to take a week off after working a regular week. So,
Well, yeah,
I,
that's true.
no, yeah,
Me
like
too.
over the summer is like our busy time, and I would work like 7 days straight for like 3 months. And that was just
Mm-hmm.
like, I felt like I was in an insane asylum, especially when I would have to go into the office because now I work
Mm-hmm.
from home. But yeah, I just felt trapped. So,
Yeah.
was
Well,
that how you're
actually,
feeling?
a little bit, but that reminds me. Over the weekend, I went to my parents' house and I was hanging out with my sister Adriana, and we made a countdown to summer
Mm
on the chalkboard,
hmm. Ooh.
and there are 15 weeks until June.
Oh my God.
So
That's so
everybody,
little.
you know,
Thank
I know 15 weeks,
goodness.
like it sounds like a lot, but a little at the same time. So
No, I feel like it kind of sounds like that's only like 4 months, right? Three, four.
it's,
It's
I
about
don't
four.
know.
That's not that bad. That's actually
I
not that
mean,
bad.
we're getting close. We're getting close.
Listen, it's almost March, and we're
Exactly.
about like the time it's about to change for us,
Yeah,
guys.
it is.
Actually, no. I think yeah, when this comes out, it's gonna be really about to change, and that's gonna be a big mood changer for me. The sun up when I'm up is nice. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we've been complaining this whole time
I know.
about the sun, so I'm ready. Ready for the sun.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
You know what I'm also ready for? I have been so I think I might have already brought this up before, but I'm like so addicted to TikTok and like
Mm-hmm.
social media,
Yeah.
mainly TikTok.
We've definitely brought it
I
up.
I'm trying to detox from it.
That's really good.
Yes.
That's really good. I've like fake detoxed myself just because I've been so busy that I actually haven't had time to go on that much.
Yeah.
Except for today. I've been on it a lot
Yeah.
today.
I set a limit for myself for 30 minutes for every day, like
Ooh.
30 minutes. And
Mm.
I met that today, but I didn't click ignore. I'm like gonna actually
Good. That's good.
do it. Yeah.
That's good. Do you think
So,
you're going to hold out for the rest of the day?
I think
Because nighttime is
maybe
like the
see,
worst time for me.
I know, me too. And the thing is, I need to find something else to do instead.
That's true.
I've been playing Candy Crush.
Listen, we're okay, Savannah. I'm holding us accountable on this podcast that we're going to the gym.
The gym.
Me and
I
Savannah have
know.
become gym bros, and by that I mean we've gone a couple of times.
Yeah.
But it was not our New Year's resolution because those are fake. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just a life goal was to go to the gym more, so we can do that instead of get on TikTok, you know,
Okay. Okay. You're right. You're right.
and then you won't be tempted.
Yeah. Okay. And listening to podcasts like this one.
Yeah, facts,
Exactly.
absolutely facts.
Okay.
Okay, I have one more thing to share.
Okay.
And it kind of ties into my story, but I feel like I need to share it now because it doesn't really tie in too much to my story,
Okay.
but a little bit. So, over this past weekend, I went on a mountain trip with some friends up in Asheville, North Carolina, which is like in on the western side of North Carolina, if you don't know where that is or whatever. And it's in the Appalachian Mountains. Okay? If you've ever heard of them, they're very famous. Some people say Appalachian. Those
Mm-hmm.
people are wrong, in my opinion. um,
Mm-hmm.
but so yeah, took a good old trip to the good old Appalachian. And so that inspired me because I knew we were going there to do a story from the Appalachian Mountains. So, eventually you'll hear the story later. But while we were in Asheville, we were staying at this little cabin on top of this mountain. No houses really. I mean, there were houses around, but very far. You know. I mean, we've been to Asheville together, Savannah. You know how
Mm-hmm.
far away the houses are. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
like in the city.
Yeah.
That's important to know. So me and my friend Christian were in the hot tub at around I'm gonna say between the time of 1:30 a.m. and 3 a.m. Okay, one night, and it was just us two. Everybody else is inside the house already, but we weren't done with the hot tub. And I was briefly telling her the story that I'm going to tell you guys today on the podcast. And immediately once I finish telling her the story, we hear a little girl's voice saying, "Hello?"
Oh no.
And at first I was like, "Christian, stop playing around," because I thought she was messing with me. And it is also important to note, we were on a hot tub on a back deck that was fenced in. So like, if there was somebody there, we had time to get inside. Like, we were safe at least. But
Yeah.
right behind that fence was the woods of the Appalachian Mountains.
Oh no.
And then so we were just like, we just became the most silent we've ever been in our life, and just listened. And we heard it again, and it was a little girl. She said, "Hello." And we never ran so fast inside.
I am like silent right now. I cannot.
We locked every door. We didn't even close the hot tub. Couldn't. Sorry, Airbnb host, if you're hearing this, I'm so sorry. We had to leave it open until the next morning, because I was like, ain't no way I'm going back out there. And then the audacity of when I get home and tell my parents that, my dad was like, "Taylor, why didn't you help her? What if she needed help?" I'm like, "Girl,
What?
come to the front door." What do
He's
you
joking,
mean?
right? Because what do you mean?
Like, I'm so sorry. Little girl, you came to the wrong person for help at 2 a.m. I don't believe that was a little girl. That's all
I don't
got.
either.
That's all I got to say about that. So yeah, that happened over the weekend.
Oh my God. And you're just gonna casually tell me this? Like what?
I know. I wanted to tell you so bad when it happened, but I was like, this needs to be on the podcast. So
Oh my God. I can't even wow.
yeah, I was so scared. I really was so scared. I have like so many goosebumps right now even thinking about it. And Christian bears witness. She was there. She heard it too. So it wasn't just me.
I mean I almost wish I was there to hear it too,
I wish
but I
you were
would have
too.
been
I wish
terrified.
we were so mad when we got inside. We were like, y'all should have been out there. Everybody should have been out there to hear that, because like nobody is gonna believe us.
No, because honestly, I don't think they would have like
They would have said something if there was all those people out there.
yeah.
Oh, Savannah, please don't
Yeah,
tell
I
me
don't
that.
think
That
anyone
really
would have
freaks me
said
out.
anything if there was more than just two of you. Yeah.
Oh my god, that makes my that makes my skin crawl. Oh my god. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on, because I can't think about that any longer, because that actually really freaks me out.
Okay. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, let's get into my story. So this week I'm going to be talking about a haunted hotel, a classic. I'm going to talk about the Elms Hotel.
We love a haunted hotel. My fave, honestly.
So the Elms is in Excelsior Springs, Missouri. And are you familiar with this area at all? Probably not.
No. Why would I be? No, sorry. Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't either.
I'm not even sure I know where the state of Missouri is. I think we've had this conversation on this podcast before. So
Yeah. Well, I actually got this idea. A YouTuber that I watch, they posted a video of them going to this hotel and like doing some ghost hunting. So
nice.
So yeah, I took the idea from them. But yeah, so this hotel is in Excelsior Springs, Missouri, and this area of Excelsior Springs, it became popular in the 1800s actually because of the mineral water in the area.
Oh, have you ever drank mineral water, like fresh out of the stream?
No.
It's the best thing ever.
Oh, I bet it is.
It
yeah.
really
like
is.
Fresh out of the
It's
like,
so cold.
earth.
It's like no, it's like the perfect tasting water, like the water you need at 3 a.m. when your mouth is dry. Yeah.
Wow. I wish I had one of those streams like in my backyard.
Same.
The dream.
Yeah, for real.
So the reason that this became popular, yes, because of the mineral water, but because specifically the water was said to quote unquote heal people.
See, what's so interesting is I was about to say Fountain of Youth when you said that earlier.
Yeah, kind of.
Not really, but like, yeah.
There was this girl, she was sick with tuberculosis, and it's always tuberculosis, isn't it?
Literally always. TB forever.
So she was sick, and her father took her to these waters, to the springs, and she was cured of tuberculosis.
What?
Supposedly, that's what the water, helped her.
Wow.
Could have been something else, but
Yeah, and
maybe
that's
maybe it's the
amazing.
magic
I
water.
need that water for real.
Yeah. So the hotel, it opened for tourism because, people flock to this area for the healing mineral water. And actually, fast forward a little, because this was back in the 1800s, but then in 1932, the American Medical Association actually released research that stated that there's no scientific evidence supporting health benefits of mineral water.
Oh, yikes.
So they kind of were like, yeah, it's not really healing you. But I
Savage.
mean, you can still believe it heals. I mean,
Listen, the
who's to say?
placebo effect works. So, like, if you believe it hard enough, it could
True.
work.
Yeah. And you said that it's the best tasting water ever. So
It
maybe that has some sort of
it really
effect on you.
is. It
Yeah.
probably actually does hydrate your body better than like the water we drink. So,
I
in a
mean,
way, I guess
maybe.
it could probably help. You know.
Yeah, it could. So this hotel is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. So it's a historic place. It was also featured on Ghost Hunters, the TV show, in 2013. And on the website for this hotel, they openly say that the hotel's haunted, and
Oh,
they offer paranormal tours.
no
So,
way. Wait, are
yes.
we far from Missouri? Because I'm kind
I
of
think we're kind of far, but like we could go.
okay.
So the 200 room resort opened in July of 1888, and an annex with 75 rooms was added a year later in 1889. But unfortunately, the original hotel was destroyed by a fire on May 9th of 1990, or no, 1898.
Let me tell you, if it's two things, it's always gonna be it's tuberculosis and a fire.
See, that's what I was saying too. I was explaining this story, like telling this story to Garrett, and I was like, literally every historic place, like if there's not a fire, I'm shocked
Yeah, or
at this point.
tuberculosis.
Yeah, or to
No,
exactly.
quite literally.
Yeah. So the second Elms Hotel was then built with 300 rooms, and it opened July 31st of 1909.
Wow, that's
But
significantly bigger.
yeah, but shocker, this one was also destroyed by a fire. A
Couldn't see
year?
that one coming, huh?
Yeah, and it was destroyed only a year later,
What?
October 30 of 1910. So it
Guys,
was open in July of 1909, and then it was destroyed October 1910.
listen.
So
I feel like two fires means maybe let's not build on this land.
yeah, well, yeah,
Like
that
that's
could mean something.
or like maybe let's have some better fire safety at the
True.
very least.
I mean, but I like fires back in the day were so prevalent just because their fireplaces were just open and they used fire to heat the buildings, you know?
Yeah, you're right. But I just feel like
And
1910 is a little like the first fire makes more sense than the 1910
you think
in my
so? I
mind.
don't know.
I don't
That's
really know when
only
firefighting became prevalent, honestly.
yeah. And so to add on to like what I was saying about the fireplaces and stuff, just like fires all over the, just to heat the buildings, people probably smoked in there as well.
That is a
And
very good
that,
point.
yeah, like people were just like lighting up everywhere. So it's like there's
That's
no
facts.
no wonder everything was lighting on fire back in the day. Someone probably dropped a cigarette or something.
You're 100% right about that.
So yeah, the third Elms Hotel was opened on September 7th of 1912, and that one is still open today.
Okay, third time's a charm.
Exactly.
They're able to build hotels fast back then, honey. 2 years?
Yeah, honestly,
I don't know why I
true.
expected it to take them longer.
Yeah, I don't know. On its final grand opening, they had over 3,000 guests. So,
Good Lord, that's a lot.
yeah.
Wow.
That's what one source said. I'm like semi questioning that now, but like It could be right.
I mean, who's to say?
Yeah, who's to
I
say?
mean, this is the third time it was like burnt and built, you know? That's kind of a
Yeah,
sight to see.
exactly. Yeah. Uh, so this building in the 1920s and 30s during Prohibition, um, and I think we've talked about Prohibition on this podcast before, but if you don't know, for some reason, during the 1920s and early 30s, alcohol was illegal in the United States, and then that led to a lot of organized crime. So this hotel was not immune to that organized crime. The Elms was actually used as a speakeasy by crime boss Big City Tom.
Okay, Big City
So,
Tom.
Big City Tom Pendergast.
Wow. What a name.
Yeah, him. He sort of like was in charge of the area, and then Al Capone actually was a frequent visitor of this hotel as well. So,
wow,
some big crime bosses here
for sure.
So Al Capone, he had his own suite on the second floor, and he could see the entrance from his room, and this was so he could know who was coming in and out at all times.
Oh, of course.
You gotta know.
Had to keep the eye out for the ops.
Exactly. He also stored his firearms in a safe that is now displayed at the top of the lobby's staircase. So that's cool. The speakeasy part of the hotel, they kept the speakeasy down in the basement area, it's currently like a pool down there, but I couldn't see, like I couldn't tell if it's always been a pool or not. Mm-hmm. Like it might have been a pool back then, and then they were just having a pool party inside. I don't know.
That's true.
Or it could have just been a basement back then, but regardless, it's the pool area now. And during Prohibition, law enforcement would often raid the place, of course, when parties were too loud and illegal.
Of course, of course. I just cannot believe. Sometimes I just forget alcohol was illegal.
I know.
At one point.
I know. It is kind of a crazy.
It is. I mean, it feels like it's giving like freshman year of college, but for everybody.
Yes.
Like
oh my God.
The RA is knocking on the door. Everybody hide the alcohol.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God.
Not that we did any of that, just as an example.
Yeah, it's just an example. But this quote that I'm about to tell you really shows what people were thinking about Prohibition at the time, though. So, police busted in when the governor of Missouri was actually attending one of the parties at the hotel. And the governor, he told the police, he's like, go bust somebody else who's actually breaking the law, because what are you doing here? Like, that's what he said to them, basically. He's like, go bust somebody else. Like, I can't deal with this right now.
I mean, I feel that, honestly.
Because he really said, somebody who's really breaking the law. And it's like, this is breaking the law, but nobody really thought of it as that, you know? Because nobody took it serious.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Like, go find the thieves and the murderers out there.
Yeah, exactly. I just think that's so funny that the governor, he's like, guys.
I mean, that's honestly me as a governor.
If you don't agree with the law, you're like...
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
No.
Forget about it.
Yeah. So another, like, sort of famous... another famous person who has stayed at this hotel is actually Harry S. Truman, the president of the United
Tell me
States.
why I thought you were going to say Harry S. Styles.
Harry Styles? No, not Harry Styles. Unfortunately, I don't think he stayed here.
Fine.
But yeah, Truman, he was the 33rd president of the United States. And in 1948, he actually spent his election night at the hotel.
Oh, no way. That's cool.
Yeah, so on election night, he went to the hotel in a Secret Service car, without telling anyone. And he, like, wanted to avoid attention at his house in the morning because he knew, like, either way, if he won or if he lost, like, the paparazzi.
Yeah, of course,
You know,
of
like
course.
people will be at his house.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to this hotel, and some sources say that he like just went there and he fell asleep at like 9 p.m. And then he woke up to the news that he had won and he was now the president.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool.
That's crazy.
So yeah, and he was in room 300. So
That's really cool.
yeah.
Imagine waking up and you're president.
I know. Yeah. And I think during this election, like he was not expecting to win too.
Oh, that's even more wild then.
Yeah. Yeah. So so let's get into the good part, the ghosts of this hotel.
Oh, yes.
So the ghosts of this hotel, they're known to be nice.
Good.
There's one that's like questionable that I'm going to talk about, but they're nice overall. So the employees, they all know that the place is haunted and they talk about it to the people who stay there. And they also, you know, they do paranormal tours. So they have the info and So one of the ghosts is in the basement of where the pool is, where the speakeasies were. There's a spirit of a man who was actually shot and killed by the mob during one of the nights at the speakeasy. Yeah.
I mean, that is not surprising, but that's sad.
Yeah.
Sad that he remains down there.
Yeah, and he just kind of hangs out down there. There's not really...
Maybe it's a vibe down there for him.
Yeah, true. Maybe he's just like at a never-ending party.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was imagining, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's not much to say about him. He's just hanging out down there.
Mm-hmm.
The staff and guests have also reported seeing a woman in a 1920s maid uniform on the 3rd floor. And they say that she's really nice to everybody and she helps the current housekeepers clean things, and she kind of just like does her job.
Wow. I feel like that's so common with hotels too, like the hotel hauntings. Like there's always like a maid that just loved it so much that she's still doing it.
I know, but it's like, I know it could be because they do love their job and stuff, but it's still sad that they're still working.
It's totally sad.
You know?
Listen, after death, I don't care what is going on. I'm not working.
Yeah, like honestly couldn't be me.
Nope.
I guess I don't know. Some of them just get stuck though.
Yeah,
I
like
hope
some
that
of them...
doesn't happen.
Right. Or like some of them like are just residual. So like maybe their soul's not actually there. It's just like energy that's left over, reliving it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have hope
but
that...
I think with her though, she will actually help them with their stuff though. So it's not really like she's doing the same things over and over again.
Yeah. So maybe she just loved it that much.
Yeah.
Which maybe. I mean, great for her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's nice that she helps. Like, thanks, ghosty girl, you know?
Mm-hmm. So the last like main spirit is this woman who walks through the hotel. She's like searching for her child, like frantically. And see, this is the one that's kind of questionable because it's like she's just looking for her son. Like, we get it. But she's known to pull people's hair or throw things across the room because she's so distressed. So.
Okay, well, I get distressed all the time and I'm not pulling people's hair.
She's like, move out of the way. I'm pulling your hair. I need to go find my kid.
Like, I get it, but at the same time, girl, how long have you been looking?
I mean, yeah. She's definitely a residual, right? Like,
Gotta be.
It's gotta be.
Gotta be.
So, those are the main ghosts of the hotel. There are, some other random ones that people will just like have experiences and stuff, but yeah, that's the haunted Elms Hotel.
I love that. It sounds like a chill vibe. I would like to go and visit.
Honestly, this kind of hotel just is the staple haunted hotel for me.
Yeah,
because it it has the speakeasy, the, 1920s
Yeah, the
crime.
mob ties.
And then it has like a random like not celebrity, but like famous person,
Mm-hmm.
president. Um,
Yeah.
and some ghosts.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I
I feel
totally
like
agree.
any haunted hotel just has to have the like
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's
the
actually the perfect math equation to equal haunted hotel.
yes, like why do all haunted hotels have to have the like 1920s crime
Oh my
people?
gosh.
Like why do they all?
I just had a really good idea. We can make our own mysteries, myths, and legends math book and like what equals
Oh my
what.
gosh.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Let's write that down.
Okay, write that down.
Yeah.
Parm, that's your job right now.
Yeah. Let me go tell her.
Love
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a very drastic change over to what I'm
Oh.
talking about today. So I
Okay.
guess we'll just get right on into it today. I am covering the legend slash mystery of the moon-eyed people.
Oh, interesting.
Ta-da. So this legend is an old Cherokee legend. So, and I always think that's like cool to talk about Cherokee legends because we live near the Cherokee people,
Yeah.
where they once did, and it's at least not too far. So that's cool. So kind of around these parts is where this happened, and more a little bit in the western, mountain area
Mm-hmm.
of North Carolina. But basically, we don't know exactly when this legend started, but one of the first times that it was written down was the very, very early 1700s. So, very old, you know,
Mm-hmm.
supremely. So, if you've been a fan of the podcast, back in episode 127, I talked about the famous Roanoke colony that quote unquote disappeared on the like east coast of North Carolina. And so they're like, the very famous, like, lost settlement,
Yeah.
Everybody's heard of them, everybody knows. However, there is a lesser known lost settlement in North Carolina on the
Oh no
western
way.
end of the state in the Appalachian Mountains called the Moon Eyed People.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I had no idea. I had
Yeah,
no
I never
idea.
heard it. I never
Right,
heard of that.
right. So let's get right on into it. Um, So yeah, like I said, it is a legend because it's literally straight up a Cherokee legend, but it is also a mystery. Um, because we don't actually know if these people really exist or not. So we'll have to see what we think at the end. Um, the Cherokee people obviously believe that they are real, and some scientists don't agree. Typical. So, yeah. Anyway, so the Cherokee people moved into the southern Appalachian Mountains around 1100 AD, which was
Okay.
an unfathomable time to my brain.
Right.
So, a long, long time ago. So, during this time of living here, like there in the southern Appalachian Mountains, they claimed that their people were not the only ones that lived there, but that there were another group of people who were there before them who were all short, fat, pale skinned, aka white, is my
Mm-hmm.
assumption,
Mm-hmm.
or just very pale skinned in general. And they all had very blue eyes.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. And so the reason that they are called moon eyed people is because that they could only come out at night. They were nocturnal.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so the legend says basically that these moon eyed people were a race of cave dwellers who predated the English and Spanish and even the Cherokee people that came over here. And so the reason that they came out at night was because their skin was so pale and their eyes are so blue. And if you don't know, blue eyes are extremely sensitive to light. Basically, they were forced to stay in the caves during the day so the sun wouldn't burn them or hurt their eyes. And then they would live in the nighttime.
Huh. Why have I never heard of this?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why were we not taught this? I've lived here my whole life. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, all I do have to say is if the moon eyed people existed, they were probably lacking some serious vitamin D,
Oh yeah,
which is probably why they
definitely.
were so pale. I'm just saying. Um, but in the Cherokee legend, like they make sure to notate that these moon-eyed people were just like them. So basically, they said it in a very complicated way, but basically they're like they were human, but they just didn't really look like us fully. So they were just
Yeah,
like shorter. And
yeah.
so they were just kind of clearing up the air. Like it's not like some kind of cryptid situation. It's just like a different race of people.
Okay,
So
yeah.
humans, I suppose you could say. So some people even believe that these moon-eyed people were actually Welsh descendants. And so okay, a little history lesson here. Okay, we all know that Christopher Columbus officially, I guess, has the title as the first to discover the New World. Boo. We know it's not
Boo.
true, but we know, he's at least awarded with the title.
Yeah.
But legend says that these moon eyed people actually were the first people who discovered it.
So they're not from there originally. They traveled over.
Correct.
That's so
Correct.
that's so long before we ever thought that could happen.
So long. And also, something that they don't know is like if they traveled far, because the Appalachian Mountains are a very big mountain range. So these people could have been traveling just like north to south of like still from the Appalachian, just like, just landed in North Carolina.
Oh my gosh. I have heard a theory cuz like I don't think it's proven or anything that, Pangea
Yeah.
when all the continents were together that the Appalachian Mountains connected to that area.
Yes. Oh
So
my
that
gosh. Yes.
definitely, oh my
That
gosh,
would make sense.
it's all making sense.
Yeah.
It connected to like the yeah, like it would be Welsh
Yeah.
people.
Exactly, exactly. And I
Wow.
actually also have more proof for the Welsh stuff, so we'll get back to that whenever we
Okay.
get there. Um, let's see. No, I lost my spot. Okay. Mm, oh my goodness, I forgot about this. Okay. So not only is just all of everything we've already said reason enough to believe that these people could have been the first people here to discover this new world, there's another reason. And it is that all throughout the Appalachian Mountains, there are these strange stone structures, which I had
Oh
no
my
idea
god.
about either. These structures date back far, far back, far way back when, far before Mr. Columbus. So it is a mystery as to how these are still intact today. Um, I do have pictures of them. I meant to send them to you
Are they
before.
similar? Are they similar to other European ones?
Um,
Because aren't there other European structures that are stone structures like that?
well, they definitely are.
Like I'm just trying to,
They're not like European structures.
because I'm just trying to connect to them being from that area of Europe. Because like,
Okay, I see what you're
but
saying.
they're different.
Well, so there's a couple of different kinds. So I sent you 3 pictures.
Okay, yeah, this isn't what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. The pictures will be on our Instagram, so you can look at them. So let's see here. There's 3 different kinds, basically, of structures. And also in the third picture is what the moon-eyed people are believed to look like. If you can
Oh wow.
see
Okay.
that. So, um, anyway, let's see. I keep losing my spot. What's crazy is not only are all these stone structures found, but more and more are being found to this day. Like, still, there are still some that are undiscovered. Like, people will just be hiking through the Appalachian Trail, off a trail, just like, and then they find some structures like this. And so that's crazy that they've not all been found. So one of them, the first picture I sent you, are these like absolutely huge rocks that look like they were made to kind of create like a rock hill slash small little mountain, if you kind of catch my drift. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
like a wall almost, even.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And so specifically this rock, it sits on the border of North Carolina and Georgia, and it is located in a place called Fort Mountain, which I'm like, that's not a very good name. But this is the state park where this rock still sits to this day. It is an 850-foot long stone wall that varies in height from 2 to 6 feet. And these rocks have been like carbon dated back to 400 and 500 CE.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And that is a current, like a pretty recent picture of them. Like still withheld. So,
Okay.
still holding up. Yeah, and so according to the Cherokee legend, this wall is a remnant of a war that the Moon-Eyed people fought and lost against the neighboring Creek Nation people, who apparently were another civilization who was like in the area. And I'm assuming they were people who live near the creek, since they're called the Creek people. You know?
Yeah, probably.
So it makes sense that they were trying to make this wall so that they could protect themselves. So that's crazy. But moving on to the other pictures that I sent you, there are like little pedestal type rock structures. It's the second picture I sent you.
Yeah.
Or kind of also like a tomb looking structure. And those are also dated back to like extremely, extremely old, and I don't think anybody's ever dug them up. So who is to say that's not a tomb? But there's no markings or anything on it, so I think it could probably just be also from the war, but it's just like sank into the mountain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it looks like it could have sank or yeah.
Yeah.
What you're saying, like
One of the two.
I don't know what to believe.
Yeah, you know, me neither. So then getting to the last picture. This is the most common rock formation found in the Appalachian Mountains. And it doesn't look that weird, right? It kind of just looks like a river of like thousands and thousands of rocks.
Yeah, it looks like it could be natural, right?
It does. It does. But
How did they prove it's not?
well, I guess I don't know. I guess I didn't look it up. But I just keep losing my spot. I'm sorry.
I mean, honestly, it does. Well, now that I look at it harder, like
I mean,
it does look like
does
somebody
it
put it
look
there.
natural?
It looks like a gravel like
It looks
path.
like yeah. It almost looks like somebody's like designed my front yard to look like a magical like forest. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No,
so
totally.
people have dated and studied these rocks, and some of them are older rocks and some of them are newer rocks. So this does kind of prove your theory that people today have added to these rocks. Like,
Oh, okay.
so not all of them are there, but I'm telling you that some of these little rock piles are just as small as this one in this picture. But there are other ones that go for miles and miles and miles of these rock rivers.
Miles.
Miles.
Oh my god.
Yep. So, into the theory of these rocks. As I mentioned, some people believe that the Moon-Eyed people are Welsh descendants. And according to Welsh legend, Prince Madoc was very angry with a civil war that was going on at the time in his homeland. So he set sail with his brother and a few of his other little friends back in 1170. Okay. Long time ago.
Yeah. See, dates like that just don't seem real to me.
I'm like, I was literally contemplating, I'm like, how do I say that? Like 1170. Like,
Yeah, like I don't know.
I love it. But yeah, so they were like, okay, we don't want to deal with this civil war. Let's bounce. It's 1170. Let's head across the Atlantic Ocean. And They are said to have landed near Mobile Bay, Alabama. Mobile Bay. Don't know how to say it, so sorry. But in Alabama, um, they explored up and down the rivers in Southern America, which is what we know today as the Appalachian Mountains. Um, and Prince Maddox, decided that he actually really liked this place. So he left his brother and a few other people from the ship behind to sail back to his country to tell everybody else. And, he's going to be like, we found this new place. Like, let's all go. So he tells everybody, gets a big old crowd, and sets sail once again, this time with 10 ships absolutely filled to the brim with people.
Oh my God.
On the way
Okay.
to where we are, Western North Carolina. Unfortunately, none of those 10 ships or any of those people were ever seen or heard from again.
Oh my God. Oh, jeez. Wow.
They didn't make it. Nope. So, like, was it pirates? Was it a storm? Boat wreck? Who's to say? But
What if they just never, sent word back to the people who were back home, and that's why they were never heard from again?
Well, because, the brother, remember, stayed in America.
Okay. Yeah, so they did have somebody waiting for them.
Mm-hmm. And remember, they left
Okay.
it. So, yeah, I was going to say, if you didn't remember, they did leave a small group of people behind.
Okay.
So
Yep. Never mind
so this little small group of people that was left behind, they are said to be the original moon-eyed people, who they are. Yeah, and so that they were like, eventually, once they realized, I guess, that their brother and everybody else was not coming back, they were like, we have to make our home here now, because it's not like we can have a ship made. It's just us, So, yeah, so the theory is that they were the ones who were at war with the Cherokee people, like, in the battle for the rivers. And so they built these stone forts along the ridges of all the mountains. And today, like, all of the theory says that the rocks and stuff are all just shorter due to weathering and stuff. But yeah, I honestly had no idea that any of that was even there whatsoever.
No, I had never heard of the moon-eyed people or anything like that.
No.
Wow.
Me neither.
Stuff like this makes me want to deep dive into like history and just see what like people have discovered, because I know that what we learned in school is not the 100%
absolutely
history.
not.
Like
There's if anything,
definitely
it's like the most filtered version we could have gotten.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I've learned more from researching from this podcast than I learned in school. Like,
yeah,
at least
honestly.
K through 12, like, it's really crazy. But, you may be asking yourself, Savannah, where are the moon people today? The moon-eyed people today?
You know what? Yes, I was asking that. I wanted to ask that.
Yeah, so some people believe that there are still people who live in, like, the Appalachia area who are descendants of the moon-eyed people. Others think that with the war, like with the Cherokee, that all of them were killed off and they're just like, a lost colony literally forever. But lastly, there are those who don't believe that these people ever existed at all. And I'm like, bro, how could you not? Why would they not have existed? It's not that far-fetched.
Yeah, I don't think it is at all.
Yeah.
Far-fetched.
No,
yeah.
Definitely not. But if you're speaking of far-fetched, there's one more theory.
Okay.
My personal favorite, of course, the far-fetched one.
Okay.
Is that the moon-eyed people still live in the caves of the mountains of the Appalachians.
Okay. I don't know.
I mean, listen. I have said it once, and I'll say it again on this podcast. The Appalachian Mountains are nothing to be playing around with. I just told you what happened when I was there last weekend. That little girl trying to get my attention. I hear a lot of stories about things that goes on in these forests out here in the Appalachians, and so
But I just don't know how a group could avoid like running into people for that long. You know?
I don't know.
But I mean, I guess you never know because if they're only out at night.
Exactly. And also, like, if you think about it really, like, if you're hiking the Appalachian Trail, you're staying on the trail more than likely. You don't want to get lost out there. Because if you get lost, it's over for you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you're not being found. So, odds are people are hiking in the day, camping at night, and they probably do hear people. Like, I heard that little girl. What if that was, I don't know, what if that was a moon-eyed person? I could have been near a cave. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who's
could
to
have
say?
been.
I don't know. But there is a local history museum in Murphy, North Carolina, that claims to have a moon-eyed people artifact. Um, it is the artifact that is in that last picture that I sent you, the one that I said looks like the people.
Oh, yeah. So, do they know who made it?
So, in the very early 1800s, it said that a local farmer dug this statue up on his land. Yeah.
Okay, that's scary.
Yeah, and so if you can't look at Instagram right now, it's like it depicts two small people, very short in stature, and they're either standing like really close together or conjoined, but they have flat, really round faces and like really small eyes. So it's unclear and unknown who made it, like if it was made by the Moon Eyed people themselves or if this is just something that somebody made. But yeah, it was definitely made before the 1800s. And that's true because it's been dated. So
Wow.
that's, just another question of in the mystery for this little legend we have here today. But yeah, that is the legend / mystery of the Moon Eyed people.
Wow.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
I know, dude. Listen,
So
honestly,
you really think
what
you really
scares
think they
me?
might be in the caves?
No, I don't. Well, I don't think the moon-eyed people are in the caves. I'm not saying nothing's in the caves. I think something might be in the caves, but I think if it would be like Bigfoot
Okay.
more than like a human race of people,
Yeah.
But what I don't like about them is how short they are.
Why?
I don't know. It just scares me.
It scares you.
Yeah, because like, just imagine you're out. Just for example, just imagine you're out on a mountain trip in the Appalachian Mountains, and you're just like running around outside. Probably had a couple drinks, and this like really short. Like I'm just picturing my scenario, and like that little girl is like this little thing.
Yeah.
I think that's why it freaks me out so much. Because I'm like, what if that's what was talking to me? That little short, little
I mean,
flat-headed, scary thing.
you never know.
I don't know. Scary. But absolutely go check out our Instagram to see pictures from this week. I can't wait to see pictures up from the hotel.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it bougie
it
or
is.
like what's the vibe?
It's like, I mean, they did definitely keep some of the historic aspects, so it does look sort of, older still, but it's not too bougie, not too bougie. It's cute.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
those vibes. Love that. Well, go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, please. But I believe that's all I have for you guys this week. Well, what about you, Savannah?
Yep, I think that's it, and I think, I guess we're gonna have to go hit the gym now.
Yep, hitting the gym. We promised ourselves we would, so guess we gotta. Yay. Okay. Well, gym bros for life. I guess we'll see you guys next week.
All right, cue the music.